Hello, TJ here. One of the many big announcements Nintendo had at E3 was the arrival of Mario Party Superstar, which will revive boards from the Nintendo 64 titles and minigames from many others. And wow, did they have a lot to show. So let's get started and see if we can set a new record speeding through these minigames and more. And like with any Mario Party, we'll look at the playable characters first. So as it stands, we've seen Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, Wario, Donkey Kong, Waluigi, Birdo, and Rosalina being played either in the trailers we've seen or the Nintendo Treehouse. We've also seen many others in-game just not being played, so unfortunately we might not see them playable this time around. And for these characters we've seen Toad and Toadette hosting the Mario Party and giving you stars. Not to miss that Koopa Troopa is also helping host as well. Since Bowser Spaces are back, he'll likely be on the sideline cheering for your demise. And Bowser Jr. seems to have taken Koopa Kid's role, so odds are is he'll be up to his own shenanigans. The Boos seem to have returned to form, being the masters of theft. We also see various other options from Super Mario Party, such as Goombas, Shy Guys, Monty Mole, and Blooper in various different minigames and on some boards too. There's also a few characters we just haven't seen yet, like Daisy. She's been around since Mario Party 3, but we just don't see her anywhere, so it's hard to say that she will be in. And otherwise, we've sadly yet to see Diddy Kong, Dry Bones, Pom Pom, and Kamek yet, so hopefully we find out about that more down the line. Let's move on to the boards. The first one they show in the Nintendo Treehouse is Peach's birthday cake. This board is quite similar to how it used to be, but definitely has a few changes. The easiest of which to note is that Mario Party Superstar has 4 less total spaces than the Nintendo 64 version of Peach's birthday cake. And though that may not be very many spaces, it'll be just enough for me to land on a Bowser every time. Another important note is that Mario Party Superstar is incorporating lucky spaces on the boards. They seem to be getting used like a more exciting blue space, not really affecting the numbers much else otherwise. But one big change is that the Goomba that sends you to Bowser's cake was moved. In the first Mario Party, it was located just before the star. It made you go through a loop around the cake and then back out. You would also be prompted with the minigame again, so if you were unlucky enough, you'd be sent right back in before you even knew it. And though we don't see if the Goomba makes you play the game, we do see that he's located after the star, and that the loop sends you right back around to before where the star is. This way you might not be stuck so bad, and if anything, it might feel like a more dangerous shortcut. Maybe this time when the Goomba says you won the game, it'll actually feel like it. We can also see that one of the 2 Bowser spaces on this path was moved somewhere else, and they swapped it out with 2 red spaces instead. Bowser himself was also pushed back a little. That's likely a result of the side you enter his cake from now. There are also a few design changes with the board, and I don't just mean how good it looks. With the Donkey Kong and Wario toys having their positions switched. Peach also had one in this map. It was in the lower right corner of the screen in a bowl of what I presume to be jelly beans. But that could just be replaced with the fact that Peach's crown is now replacing the happy birthday on the middle of the cake. Next, we'll soar into Spaceland, the other board they put emphasis on during the Nintendo Treehouse. Now this board feels almost one-to-one with its original Nintendo 64 layout, having the same number of total spaces if you don't count this awkward starting space in the lower right corner of the map. Having all the main attractions like booths, banks, and gates in the same locations too. But what few notable changes there are could be a warm welcome for the board. The first one being just how many more item spaces there are. The original Nintendo 64 version of the board only has 8 item spaces, and this one doubles that with 16. The board has 1 less Bowser space than it used to, and the gate on the right has completely different spaces, with both chance times being moved over there and it having 2 item spaces, minus the old version of the board having 3 blue spaces there. And the last board to make it in that we know about is Woody Woods. We can see this board in the promotional art for Mario Party Superstars. From what we can see in this art, the board layout seems very similar with no notable changes like Spaceland, possessing the same sign layout and a small bubble showing that players can manually flip the signs. The Bowser spaces have been slightly moved, with the one on the left side being on the opposite side of the fork in the road, and the one in the upper right being moved up on the path with the boo. One bigger change though is that there's a bank at the top of the map now. We can't see the one in the lower left corner to say if it was moved or if there was a third one added. Its location also raises one bigger point, in that we haven't seen a single Game Guy space on any of these boards, as that's where one is on the Mario Party 3 version of this map. But now it's time for us to choose our turn count. From what we've seen, we know that 10, 15, 20, and 30 are possible turn counts to be chosen from, with 30 possibly being the max turn count with how they word it on the store page. There is one other big note with the turn count though. When Nintendo posted the Treehouse footage after it was live, they added a few notes in places, one of which being this line here. In the final version, turn count can be extended after play has started. So that raises a big question. How can it be extended? Will there be an option in the settings that lets you manually change it? Or will it be something else, like the wacky watch found in Mario Party 3? Since this item would set you to the 5th turn in the final 5 turns, it would be possible to extend the turns of play if you used it after the final 5 turns have started. Of the 61 minigames we know, there's a really good spread, with there being 34 4-player minigames, 13 2v2 minigames, 10 1v3 minigames, 3 1v1, and 1 item minigame. And those are just the ones we've seen. If you want more details on those, we made a video about it. The link will be in the description if you want to check that out. Mario Party Superstar has a blend of items from both the classic games and the more modern ones. First up will be the mushroom. This works like the new mushroom items work. They add +5 to your dice roll. We've also seen the double dice and triple dice. These work a lot like how mushroom and the golden mushroom used to work, adding extra dice you can roll, so you'll roll 2 and 3 dice respectively. There's also the cursed dice block, which forces the targeted player to roll between 1 and 3, like how the poison mushroom used to work in the older games. There's also the custom dice block, that lets you choose the number you roll, the warp block, which lets you switch positions with a random opponent, the golden pipe, which moves you to the space just before the star, the chomp call, which calls a chain chomp to move the star to a different location, the plunder chest, which lets you steal another opponent's items, and the item bag, which used to give you up to 3 random items. The boos are back around to steal, and they work just like they did in the Nintendo 64 version, letting a player steal coins and stars from another player. The stars cost 50 coins to steal, and the coins don't cost anything. But like in the old Mario Party games, they give the player you're stealing coins from a chance to mash the button to reduce the coins taken. The game also gets more heated in the final 5 turns. Now unfortunately there's no clip showing what event happens when you enter the final 5 turns, or if there's an event entering the final 5 turns, but we do know that during the final 5 turns, blue and red spaces will give and take away 6 coins instead of the usual 3, and that landing on the space as another player during it will activate a duel, in which the player whose turn it is selects how many coins they want to wager, pending both can afford it, and they duke it out in a 1v1 minigame, all or nothing. And speaking of ways to turn the tide, we also get the chance to see Chance Time. Mario Party Superstar's Chance Time is very similar to that of the Chance Time in Mario Party 2, having the player who landed on the space hit 3 different blocks in whatever order they choose. 2 blocks representing the player's chance time will affect, and 1 block affecting what will happen. The possible options available is one player gives the other 3 coins, 20 coins, 30 coins, or 1 star, and that both players can swap coins, swap stars and coins. And these trades can go either way, so there's no safety once you're on the chopping block. All the music in Mario Party Superstar seems to be redone, and different from the arrangements they made in Top 100. Pro Controller and Nintendo Switch Lite fans rejoice, as the controls for Mario Party Superstar are not just single Joy-Con. Every game mode is also compatible with online and local play. They also allow you to save mid-game, so if anyone needs to take a break or disconnects, you can pick right back up from where you left off. Mario Party Superstar also appears to only feature 2 bonus stars, instead of the 3 that the older games did. Although Super Mario Party did give a 3rd bonus star if the turn count was set high enough, so that could be the case for Mario Party Superstar as well. But it seems like the newer games, in the fact that the stars you get are random, shaking up the expected outcome at the end of a game. The characters also don't appear to get any special costumes when they're on Spaceland, so it doesn't seem like the costume gimmick's coming back. But I would still love to see the costumes, maybe in the form of, say, something you can purchase in the shop after you finish your games. They also seem to have replaced the taunt feature with stickers instead, letting you express multiple different actions and emotions over the course of a game. From what they show in the Nintendo Treehouse, it seems like every character has a preset of stickers they can get. But from what you see in the Japanese trailer, they show characters using stickers that wouldn't otherwise be associated with their character, like Mario using a Monty Mole sticker and Peach using a Pink Yoshi sticker. Does this mean that you can get or buy more stickers and customize the ones you use on your characters? And lastly, I wanted to make a mention of just how much detail went into every nook and cranny of this game. It looks just beautiful and is bursting with so much personality, from the fact that the characters pull out actual maps when you want to check the map, the puff of smoke that comes from the boulders and Boulder Ball, the decadent appeal of Peach's birthday cake, as well as bringing things like the Luigi death stare back in this clip where Yoshi messes up, to how upset Luigi is when you can tell that he lost his coins in that duel minigame, and how the characters are just so nervous in Bowser's Big Blast when they pull the switch. The minigame seems to make you wait longer as the game goes on for your result, as well as how relieved the character is when they realize they're safe. Mario Party Superstar is bringing all the charm and minigames we know and love from the past, and I can't wait to see what else they show until the game comes out on October 29th, 2021. Was there anything you guys saw that we might have missed? How many of you are looking forward to Mario Party Superstar? Please leave your thoughts down below. And thank you all so much for watching this analysis. And be sure to subscribe to GameXplain for more on Mario Party Superstar and other things from Nintendo's E3 presentation you might be interested in. Until next time, bye!